Hello, race fans. Here we are in Lake Garda, Italy for the fifth race of the European Championship 49er class. We're in the last few seconds before the start here, and it is a gorgeous day. The guys have just got off the line there. James, why don't you zoom in a little bit for us? The weather here, conditions here today are about 15 to 20 knots, and it's just gorgeous. That's nice, James. Just fade out as the guys get farther away from each other. The fleet's off. It looks like a fair start, no general recall. I'm sitting in the booth here I'm Ben Remerker from Canada and the 49er class, and I'm sitting here with Marcus Baur from Germany, and we're in our SAP broadcast studio. Marcus, say hi.
Hello everyone to a beautiful day on Lake Garda. Typical morning wind on Lake Garda, which is slowly fading but still quite strong at the moment. So we're looking forward to a nice race. They've gotten off the starting line clean. And when we get a break, we'll show you oh, there it is. Let's bring up the format. What are we up to in the coming 2 days? It's Friday. And you can see today there is 3 fleet races scheduled, and we're currently in the first race number 5, and tomorrow there's a completely new format. And Ben, maybe you can give us a little bit of background to the format. Why did we shift to this new format?
Well, the format is one that we're really excited about. It's one where the boundaries are contained, and the guys will race in flights of 8 people only. We'll be able to get really close to the action because our cameras can be right on the other side of the course. Today, of course, we've got the overhead views, and it also means that the winner of the last race will win the championship, which should be an exciting moment.
What you can see on the left is that the races we're doing today means that the boats are going to qualify for the 4 rounds that we're going to do tomorrow, and the boats that finish on the top 4, on the top 8 today have the best chance to make it to the grand final tomorrow.
Thanks, Marcus. It's going to be an exciting time for sure. We've got camera 2. All right. Here we are on board with the leaders. Looks like the French are doing well again. That's Julien Dottori, sorry, and he's just ducking the Germans there. But he's been flying all week. He's sitting in 4th position now, and he's got the King of the Downwind jersey on as our sailor with the least amount of time sailed downwind so far this week. You can tell from the pace how quick these guys are going upwind. The skiffs really fly.
Okay, currently in the lead I can see on the SAP Analytics are the 2 German teams, Jan-Hauke Erichsen and Max Lutz, and Toby Schadewald and Oliver Levine. It's very early in the race, so you can't judge much on that, but they're looking good. In 3rd position currently, the Danish team. But most boats heading out to the right side, to the rocks, hoping for more wind. Typical situation on Lake Garda. A lot of boats drawn to the rocks because there's a stronger breeze close to the mountains often.
Yeah, we've seen that all week, Marcus. The boats have been hitting one side or the other at different times, and always one side is paid. This time the fleet has voted with their feet. There isn't a single guy coming left. They're all in on the right. Let's take a closer view of what's happening over there. Yeah, as you can see, the wind is sheared off, so the guys are getting headed into the right side, and they're bound to get a little more breeze and then take it out. Let's see what the fleet's looking like.
Yeah, majority is still heading right, but you can see the boats that tacked on the right side are going low. You know, the boats, the outermost boat on the right side is going quite low.
Yeah, you can see how lifted they are up the inside there. Yeah, so they've really got lifted out, and it looks to me like that's the Danes who are first out.
Yep, that's Alan Nørregaard.
Now we've zoomed back out. We've got the Polish coming across to challenge the leaders, but it actually looks like the inside is the one that's going to pay.
So in the top view you can see the boats on the right leading now. It's Alan Nørregaard in 1st position, followed by
Jan Hauk Eriksson is in third. He's our top youth sailor this week. He's wearing the white jersey. Alan, of course, has been flying and currently made famous by trapezing on the top of his crew's shoulders this week. In second place, we've got Matthew Frey, and they're in the Seiko branded boat this week with Jan. And the two of them have had a good go. I saw them bobble their tack actually in there, but it seems like they've recovered to hold their position. Looks like they're probably on ley line as well, so could be coming really close.
Yeah, the boat's headed out really far to the right side, hitting the ley line very early, going for that benefit on the rocks. And now all heading towards the windward mark. A real speed race up there at front. Who's going to be the fastest boat going towards the windward mark? That's the question now.
Yeah, the looks like the guys that hit the rocks first have really extended, and they've got a nice lead considering it's so early in the race. You can see some of the other back markers fading in early. Marcus, what do you got there for speeds? We ready for it yet?
Give me a second. Let me dig that out. Speeds
right,
of 10 knots, leading boats 10.3 knots, the third, fourth boat slightly under 9.7 knots. Fair bit of speed for probably, what do we have, 14 knots of wind?
Yeah. It's amazing how quick they go in the flat water here of Garda. We actually saw the world record, unofficial of course, set for 49er sailing yesterday. That was Tim and Tom Lange from Germany on the last downwind of the day. They hit 24.3 knots, which was a record, beating the previous 49er mark of 24.1. That's over a 30-second period. Really amazing stuff. The guys were just flying yesterday. We'll have the highlights up shortly, but it was carnage out there. We only managed to get one race completed. The first race of the morning was abandoned, and then on the second race was the one that the guys got round. And then the third one had to be abandoned because the committee boats got blown off their anchors points. So you can tell just how wild it was.
Alan Norgard leading the bunch. He didn't drive too far out above the ley line. So he's got the inside advantage. A German boat on top of him looks like it's ahead, but really he has to go a further way to the windward mark. So I think it will sort itself out. And Alan, the Danish boat that you see in the background, is going to make it to the windward mark first. Some boats in the foreground that look good now, but they won't really make it to the windward mark in the lead, as you can see in the top view.
Yeah, the Danes have really extended there. It's real boat speed chase here. They went quick to the right side, got the breeze and the shift, and now they're extended forward. They're going to round comfortably, it looks like, and there should be no reason that they can't extend from there. They will, of course, probably try and drive set, so they'll want to be getting back to that breeze and shift. We'll see if they have any trouble with traffic, although it looks like most of the guys are up on the ley line anyways.
It actually does look like Tobias Schadewald is rolling the Danish boat. He does make it, even though he has to go a further way. He's now rolling him, going on top.
Oh, it looks like the Irish as well. So getting some extra distance into the beach there, or the rocks, has paid off for these guys as they overstayed the ley line, but then are turning it into speed. You're right. That's Tobias coming into the windward mark here.
Real speciality for Lake Garda, heading to the rocks, getting stronger breeze, going a longer distance, but still making it.
Look at that. That's beautiful. He's got his German Olympic spinnaker up there, and he jibes set. Here come the Irish. Tight around. They'll do the same thing. Looks
jibe
like
setting, going back to the rocks where the breeze was stronger. We're going to see a pretty uniform pattern here, I think. Probably almost all the boats heading out back to the rocks because the breeze is so much stronger there. Bit of a speed race.
James, that's you in the overhead. Let's pan with the leaders there. Well, thank you. And you can see how much Tobias has extended.
Yep,
yeah, he's coming in. Look at everyone converging. Bunch of guys jibe setting. We haven't seen anyone do anything else yet, so that's obviously the way to go. And you can see now the guys are getting into the increased breeze on the inside. That's Tobias extending, and then the Irish in second, Alan Norgard in third. I didn't catch who was in fourth. Is that the Trentino sponsored Italians? possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the situation in the overhead. Let's get the whole race course in view. Boats are heading down. Quite a long way down. That's where the leeward gate is. So, almost all the boats heading back to the rocks on the eastern side of the lake.
Yeah. Nothing much going on there. All the guys just getting in their actions. Here's some more guys setting kites. We've got a few people there.
Oh, right. There's some
Daring to
boats
go
heading
straight.
out to the left. Be
Some-
interesting to see. Let's go back to the overhead. Will be interesting to see if they can gain anything on the left side of the course there. What do you think? Will you put your money on them?
You know what? I'm going to put my money on the guys in the lead here because they got there for a reason. So that right side of near the cliffs is probably worth it. Of course, you always have to take your chances, and you know, some of the guys are now jabbing back across. Who knows? My old skipper Gorda was always one to dig into a shift, so maybe that's what they're thinking, and maybe it will work out. Depends how uniform the breeze is across the lake. And as I look out of the studio here, there definitely is breeze all across. So if it was the shift that made the difference on the first beat compared to the wind increase, then it might actually work out. Guys just going into their jibes here. We can see Tobias. All three made it through cleanly, and they're headed in toward the leeward gate now. That's great, James. Maybe you can pan out a little bit as we bring up the tracker again. Yeah, keep going, James, all the way. Let's see what the fleet looks like. Yeah, that's great. Get the leeward marks in there too.
Okay, first boats have jibed. Going back in. Doesn't look like the boats on the left side have gained a whole lot. See? Some boats here on that side that are looking for a gain. They were a bit desperate probably heading out to that side. But this is the area with more breeze. That's where the wind gets congested close to these mountains, and patch of stronger breeze there. Fairly uniform racetrack at the moment. Good speed for Tobias and Oliver.
Maybe this is a good time to bring in our leaderboard here. See how things are going. We've got... This is...
That's the situation before this race.
Yeah, we've got the Polish 52 in first, Alan Norgard there in second, and Spain in third. The top youth team you can see down there in fifth is Jan Eriksson from Germany. They're in contention for the Youth World Championship, which will also be decided at this event. Okay, Tobias successfully got through the leeward mark there. They all went to the left gate and are heading back to the cliffs. We've had one guy go around the right gate. Looks like a pretty standard race, even though it's windy and the conditions are challenging. These guys are so good now that the 49er, once a wild beast, has been tamed. So it takes a lot more than this to knock the guys over. You can see the amount of skill they're coming in with at this point. Beautiful scenery here in Lake Garda with all the brightly colored Jennikers cruising downwind in a line. We can see the leaders there, Tobias extending further, just going to try and repeat the same thing he did last race. Let's go to the virtual leaderboard now and see how things are shaping up throughout this race as we calculate in what's happening.
Yep, that's the leaderboard at the moment, sorted after race 5. You can see in the lead Tobias Schadewald in race 5. He's only 19th overall. Who's in the lead currently? He's not even on this view.
Yeah, Thomas there from Poland
he's
having
in
a
21st. He's in 21st place. Second place, Alan Nergard with his 4th place at the moment. He'll come second, and third is the French guys. The Germans that were placed 5th yesterday dropped 1 place to 6th. So all pretty close yet. Let's see how it looks after this upwind again. I think then we have a quite a solid situation, because it's not that much going to happen on the last downwind.
Can you sort by some?
Okay, so this is the overall score at the moment. Polish guys still lead. They're discarding this race number 5. Danish guys in 2nd place. 3rd, the French guys.
Dottori, so he's having another good race. He's been very consistent all week, actually. You can see he won the first 2 races of the series. Had a bit of a shocker in the 3rd one. That was the race where the rain came down and rained about 40 millimeters during the race. So I guess he preferred to be back on the south coast of France for that one, huh? Yeah. Let's check in with the leaders. Yeah, Tobias still up there with the Irish, and Alan Norgard, the Dane bronze medalist there in 3rd. They're going to head to the cliffs here. I imagine, James, if you get in close, they'll be tacking pretty soon. So see what you can do there. Just gorgeous scenery here. The cliffs there are pretty close. I wonder how far they'll extend past the ley line this time. Given they had the success of overstanding on the last one and reaching in, I guess they'll try the same thing and just go for as much pressure as they can get.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to attack first over there on the right side. That's probably going to decide the race. To put the tack in the right place. Tobias still leaning. Alan went out a little bit higher. Ryan Seaton. Actually, we could try to tune in to Ryan. We have a microphone on board, don't we?
We do. Let's see if he's chatting it up out there. Those guys are quite the comedians, so let's see if they're concentrating or if they're goofing off. Yeah, so Tobias, hard to say whether he's reaching off or if he's forced the other guys to sail higher than him. Could pay off as long as he gets his tack in the right spot. You'd hate to be underlaid at this point with the right so favored. The other guys are hanging in well, though, so it looks like they're plenty comfortable now, having probably pinched earlier in the beat to get their lanes clear.
Sorry, Ben, I can't get the Irish guys in. They dropped out. They probably quit the call. Maybe they got into a fight. Do you think so? No, they're doing well in the 2nd place.
Knowing them, they're probably on the phone with their girlfriend instead of this conference call. That's okay.
So they're still heading out to the right side, the 3 leaders. So who's going to attack first? Ryan Seaton's going really high, pinching away Alan. I would be surprised if Alan goes for an early tack.
Oh, there we go. Alan is tacked first. You were right, Marcus. And he's the first guy to come back. So we'll see if he reckons he can cut a little distance out of them while the other 2 reach over again. That's actually a mirror image of what happened on the first beat. Alan trying to shave distance and the other 2 reach happy. So they don't mind going the extra distance. They were probably just waiting for someone to tack, and then takes all the risk out of it for him.
Yeah, we lost the tracking signal on Toby's boat. He's currently out, so it's...
Yeah, we can see him in real life.
He's going to come back in a second.
Yeah. But Alan, you can see he's nose out on the Irish, but I don't think he's going to hold, frankly. Those guys have been hitting the gym pretty hard, so they got plenty of leverage, and they'll probably cruise over top. But Alan's no slouch these days either. He may even deploy some unique tactics. Who knows? He does look really far away from the rig right now. I'd hate to predict what he's doing, but it could be true.
So he's doing the shoulder thing again.
I don't know, James. How close can you get in on that shot to see what's happening? Yeah, that one, James. See, how close can you get?
Tell us a little bit about what we're looking for. What have those guys been doing the last few days?
It's all for naught. They've
bad.
tacked back. Okay, all excited about nothing. It was something they tested out in the qualifying racing, and the guys thought they were taking the Mickey for a while, but turned out they had practiced quite a bit. And we're pretty proud of their shoulder trapezing.
So they actually step on the shoulder. Alan is stepping on the shoulder of his crew, and he takes the helm.
Yeah, so Alan climbs up the hip of his crew all the way to his shoulders and passes the tiller to his crew, which, you know, I mean, it's just holding straight anyway. So
That's like the Fosbury flop. That's a completely new way of going about.
I was chatting about it with him this morning. Some of the guys got pretty upset. Other guys were in awe because they knew just how difficult it is to perform the technique, having tried it since they saw Alan do it. Alan thinks the class should hold off on their judgment at this point and let guys play for a year, see if it's safe, see if it's hurting anyone, and then make an informed decision rather than a rash decision. We'll see how it goes. The 49ers are a very progressive group, always have been, so there's a lot of acceptance for people pushing boundaries.
Yeah, it's funny that there's no rule against it. It does remind me of the Fosbury flop, where someone tried something new and just made a giant leap. Will be interesting to see how that's going to pan out.
Sure. I was reading some of the message boards that were covering it so much over the last couple days as it went viral there. A couple guys chipped in and said that they thought it was already illegal because people in the 470 had done things like that, and it had been outlawed in certain classes. I even saw some Flying Dutchman guys chipping in that they'd been at it back in the day. But all these classes banned it outright. So we'll see what the 49er guys think. Alan said, I asked him, you know, is it hard on your crew's shoulders? And he said, once you get really low and really flat, all the weight's on the trapeze. It's not a big deal. Yeah. And, of course, it takes a lot longer to climb out than it does to get back in. When he climbs back in, he just jumps, literally swings in, so he's there. He said they can come in and tack in 50 meters at this speed. That's not much time, so they seem like they have it under control. Coming up to the windward mark here, let's check in with the perspective. Sorry.
Yep, Toby in the lead. Tracker came back.
Looks like Alan gained a bit, though. You think he's tighter than he was before?
Not sure.
Could be. Either way, these three have quite a bit of separation on the rest of the fleet, so I'd say they're tight and they're set.
Let's look at the windward mark. Let's get camera 3 up.
Yeah, here they are. You can see the windward mark just on the right side of our screen.
Beautiful panorama, too, in the background.
Oh, yeah. Garda's a pretty special place.
Still twin trapezing. What is it out there now? 10 knots?
At the windward mark, it's a little lighter than it is down at the bottom. So, yeah, they'd say they're down to 10 knots, maybe even 8. They're not going too quick around the mark here. And then they'll be sailing into more breeze as they get downwind. Toby
and Hannes rounding now. Kite goes up, jibe set, again heading back to that wall over there.
Beautiful, isn't it? Toby and Hannes, actually, they were invited to partake in the Gold Fleet automatically from their Olympic finish. So they came here, they sailed a little bit, and they did a little biking, and now they're showing the boys how it's done.
Irish boat, Seaton McGovern round in second place. And you can see those guys have to start bending their legs. So the wind is dropping. Typical scenario here in Lake Garda. Morning wind blowing until midday and then fading out. And look what Alan is doing. He's attacking.
He is attacking. That's twice he's done that in this race. The guy just won't rest. He is now straight set, as you can see, and as we get it on the overhead, we'll see how he's separating.
Let's see how far he's heading out there. See, this is Alan Nurregard heading out to this side. Let's see how far he'll go.
Yeah, it's taken a risk, but I can see in the overhead that Tobias and the Irish have had to sail through the fleet going upwind, which, of course, it's lighter at the top, and then they're going to get all the boat wakes plus all the disturbed wind. They're going below the fleet. So Alan may be just doing a tactical move here, or we'll find out. Maybe it's a strategic move, and he figures the wind's come across.
He's going far. He's actually going towards us. We're sitting in his studio slightly over the course, and what do you say, Ben? Look out on the where would you go?
Well, I think he's actually gained here. You can tell by our
He has.
overhead camera that he is really extended, and he has just lit it up. Those guys had to suffer a little bit through the fleet, and now they are ripping downwind, fully lit up, and I'd say that's a comfortable cross and a solid gain there for Alan. We'll see. What does the overhead say?
The
Who's in
overhead
the lead
still
here?
has Tobias in the lead, but the wind direction is a little bit unstable, so I wouldn't bet on that. He does look good. Now Toby is jibed back.
He's just jibed back. He had a really good jibe, really clean. So
So
we'll
now
see
these
very soon.
two boats we have in the camera, we're not on the gain line. We're looking slightly from behind, so it does look like Alan is miles ahead. It's not going to be that big of a cross, but good chance that he would be ahead. But we can see Toby in the background. He's got a good breeze. He's quite fast.
The gain line still has
Toby in
the lead, but it's going to be really close. We can see. Let's zoom in here straight and watch the zoom in there for us, James. See what you can get. Here they come together. It's not going to be long now. Oh, Tobias has had his chute flap a couple times on this downwind. He may rue that lost mileage. But
okay, now
it looks pretty good.
Getting close.
He may have it still. Looks like Tobias is going to cross to my eye.
Yeah, he's a slight bit ahead. It did look like he had more breeze over there, but did Alan catch Ryan, the Irish guys?
Could be. What does the overhead say? Pretty accurate representation there. It looks like they've got Alan, who just jibed here in our picture. Right ahead of the Irish, so he took the risk and made a pass.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So there is something happening. It's not a full one-way path here.
Yeah. Let's just take a look at our studio camera now, and you can see the rest of the rest of the fleet coming down the lake here. Those are our leaders on the far right of the screen. And you can see Alan wasn't the only guy who decided to go right in this downwind. Actually, our Seiko branded team of Mathieu Frey and Jan Richaud have led the second pack around. We'll see if they gain. And now we're coming into the finish. The guys are actually pretty lit up. So even though it was light at the top, the wind's still nice and strong down at the bottom of the race course.
Beautiful images. We're missing one camera though. The boat of Rigo and Ice. He's ran out of power. So if he can come back ashore and recharge his batteries, that would be good.
If we can get, we're on board now with our other live boat camera, and you can see just how fast they're going. We've actually got the rib just in the corner of the image and the splashing. It's these guys are really going quite fast.
So
and on to our leaders.
We're closing on to the finish. Toby and Oliver looking good.
Toby and Oliver looking good for the lead for the win here, and actually Alan is outside the Irish, so Ryan Seaton has gotten through and held his position. So the Irish have managed to squeak through there. Yep. And will keep their second place. No harm them. They've actually dropped their spinnakers. We can see now.
That's the finish line. Looking down the finish line. Finish boat on the left side.
And
here they come.
Irish.
Irish guys had packed up. They had gone a little bit too far. Danish guys had to pack up as well. No kite into the finish.
So I'd say Alan went in too deep there, and that's how he probably got passed by the Irish. They must have doused ahead of him, reached over top, and got past because Alan dug too deep after being able to extend there through going right on.
Okay, so what does that mean in the overall score? We've got a race. This is sorted by the fifth race. Toby won, Seaton second. French guys third. Is that correct? That can't be true. The French guys didn't make it in there as third. That's probably a mistake.
Yeah, it must be. But I can actually see them now. They're just crossing through, so they're fine.
Yeah, we'll ask the scoring guys what happened there. But nevertheless, the overall ranks will be correct. So in first place, still the Polish, had a bad race, discard that one. Alan in second position, Toby not even on the list with this race win. He had a terrible regatta so far.
Yeah, Toby's waiting until the breezy days to show us what he's got, I guess.
Be interesting how he's going to do in the next 2 races coming up.
Actually, we've got a lead change here in the Youth World Championship standings. If things go to form, we've got
5th place.
Diego Botin has passed Jan Eriksson for the lead in the Youth World Championships. Those two designated by our stars on the leaderboard are youth teams, so 5th and 6th.
Pretty tight though,
there.
31 points and 33 points.
Yeah, lots in it to play there. Lots in it to play there.